Alrighty. Just about 5 minutes to the new. Hey Spiros, how you doing? So waiting for the news on the CPI number. It was a 6.8, expecting a 7%. 5 minutes. Pound dollar is still sitting at that 1.235 level. Analysis I'm still holding that same view, expecting it to drop following that CPI news piece, breaking out of that channel to the downside. Hey Bia, how are you doing? Hey Ahmed, good morning. If it's going down to get to that. You're waiting just under 5 minutes. So what we'll do for this today is that we'll go through this. We'll have a look at the news, then we'll look at a reaction, and maybe I will pause it, or then we'll come back again. Then we'll end at about 2:30 just for a quick reaction on the news. Then we'll come back again at 3 for our daily market. Guys, Bollinger Bands as well. About 3 time. Main thing here is that if it does come out as 0.8, 7 at a 7.7% from a 6.8, showing an increase in inflation growth CPI number year on year for the UK, then why we're thinking that it might drop is that it might lead to or it might show that the previous interest rate hikes from Bank of England might be losing its impact or not having as that constant impact that is expected to have. So we do have the Bank of England with the interest rates tomorrow as well. We're expecting a 25 basis point rate hike. Rates keep increasing, it's going to cause a slowdown in the economy, so that's going to possibly some downside. What's most likely going to happen here is that it's going to spike up before coming back down again. What I'm looking for, right? Maybe a spike up before turning back down again. Why a spike up is I think a lot of people might be looking at the news 7%, you might think, oh, great, great news, because it's a green number. But if you look at it in more detail, then you're going to see that turn back down again. Okay, so consider there. Amit's looking for pound dollar long, right? I've brought up the dollar index chart as well. Did come down to that 61.8 last night before bouncing back up. Right now, still at the same place as where we were yesterday. So it's at that same again. Looking for that move. But I would only be looking to trigger a sell below 1.2365. If it doesn't go down, if it goes back up, it goes towards that resistance, I'm going to be out. I'm not going to get into a trade just because of that significant downtrend that the pound dollar is on. You're also saying that there's an imbalance on M. Likely come back to around that point, or possibly. I'll stay on M15. Just realize how jiggly the line is. Right? Before the news is out, pound dollar spiking lower. There's big downside. Look at that. So my order got filled there. My order got filled. News out at 6.7. So it's showing that drop. It's showing that drop from 6.8 to 6.7 without that 7% as well. So you're seeing that push to the downside. I am on that move right now. Okay, now the thing to watch out for here is on the pound dollar. It is way outside of Bollinger. It's way outside of the Bollinger Band. So just watch out for that. At this point, I'll show it to you on the M5 as well. It spiked up a little bit. Or it didn't spike up. It just pushed up a little bit. Or back that there and push down. Right, on M5, it's way outside of Bollinger. This is on the news release of 6.7% or 6.8, expected 7. So, slowdown in CPI or inflation growth in the UK. I'm going to close out the trade because I want to explain this to you guys. Right, so it did move down. I closed out at about that point there. Price was that 4.5. I had good 20 pips to the downside. I had good 20 pips to the downside there on the pound dollar. I do think it's going to continue lower to test this support level, but just wanted to focus on this together with you guys. Now looking at the news, also close the trades. Very good, BL. How many pips did you get on that one, BL? Okay, just showing to you on the M1 time frame, right? I do think that it's going to continue. I do think it's going to continue to the downside despite outside of the Bollinger Band. Okay, despite it being outside the Bollinger Band, because it's only been 2 minutes since the news release. We are seeing that immediate reaction to the news with the big price pushing down. So it's likely to sit there. Look at that. A bit more. It's caught up, right? So it's caught up to, or rather the Bollinger Band has caught up to price. So it's come back up. It's testing this level. I think this minute is going to sit around there, might bounce back up a little bit. but I would still be looking for it to push down lower. The main thing here I'm watching is how it's the price action here, where it's rejecting this 1.3 1.2340 level. Okay, so this is on the M1 time frame. Looks like it's going to bounce back up. It's going to come back to that Bollinger for a while. Then checking my M5 again, it's way outside the Bollinger, so it might retrace a little bit more. So I'm quite happy I got out my 20. Now it's there. Let's look at it on the M1 time frame for now. Generally, remember when I was telling you all about trading the news, it does spike down, retrace, and then after that continue back down again. Okay, so what you can be, so that's the pattern that we generally see. What you can do is either look to sell a very aggressive move is to look to sell on this candle, which is not ready right now. It's not ready right now. Or look to sell down from this point. Looking to sell down from that point. Next trade would about another 20 pips to the downside, 10 pips stop loss, 20 pips, 1 to 2 downside again. Okay, so that's the part 2 if we can see that happen. But right now it's still in that phase, still in the going up, looking for it to turn down. Okay, so this is the right, this is the safer, slightly safer option sell. Okay, slightly safer option to sell. Then if this candle closes red, then it might be the more aggressive idea to sell there. But if you look at it on M5, that away. Look at it on M5, it is way outside of Bollinger, so I do anticipate that it's going to sit there for a while, might bounce back up a little bit before turning back down again. I wouldn't go for the aggressive entry now. It just looks like it might sit there for a while, maybe bounce back up a little bit, so don't think it's ready to sell. Okay, come back up a little bit before turning back. Good morning, Jamil. How are you doing? So for those of you who are just joining us right now at the moment, the UK CPI was released at 6.7. It was expected, it was 6.8, expected 7%, came out at 6.7, which shows that it is inflation growth in the UK is slowing down, which is why we are seeing this push down. This is not, I don't think this is going to change the idea that the Bank of England is going to continue hiking rates with the expectation of 25 basis points for tomorrow. I think this is just part of the overall scheme of things. All right, so not ready, as we were saying, looking for it to bounce back up before possibly back down and selling down again. Right, so it could come as high as this 50% level. I did get in, I did have my order at 1.2365 as we were discussing here yesterday. Closed out at about 20 pips as spiking down. I didn't want to do too many things at one time, so close it out 20 pips. Focus on explaining this with you guys. BL closed out at about 20 as well. Anyone else got in and out of the pound trade? Do let me know. It is retracing back right now. Not looking to do anything at spike down, trace, or a possible push. Okay, checking the M5 time frame again, it looks like it's coming towards that Bollinger. 2 minutes away from this candle close, I feel that the Bollinger might catch up Right, the next print might be a little bit lower, catch up, and then we might see a continue back down again. Any questions so far? Put it into the chat if you have a question, if you have a comment. Finding it good and useful. Now look at that there. Dollar spiked up a little bit before push down, wide spike up. Euro dollar is pushing up. 1 minute. Euro dollar is spiking up. That's why we are seeing dollar index up before now push back down again. Euro dollar is a bit to the upside. That's why we're seeing the dollar try to push up, but then now sitting back at that 105.50. Pound dollar back to one time frame. Look at that now. I don't think I'll jump into this trade, just because we have another stream coming up at 3 o'clock, so I don't want to be jumping into a trade before the stream. But it looks like that pattern is playing out. Look on the M5, it's back to the Bollinger, so it's testing that level, or maybe back down again. If it does break above 50, then I think that would be time's up. That'll be time's up on for it to turn back down. Okay, BLSA is very useful, especially the trading directions aligned with yours. Yes, very nice. And that's a quick trade. That's a very quick trade, right? On the news. I could have got in a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to be a bit safer. So I left the order at 1.25. Sometimes I would in fact think about entering before the news, right? Before the news, just to try and catch that move. That would have been a very nice move to the downside. But in this case, I left it there at 1.25 for quick trade to now there. The longer it sits there without that upside potential, then that's going to possibly lead to that push back down again. This here, just because we're going to need it for do help me out. Click that like and subscribe button or like button. You guys are all subscribed. That now pound dollar starting to turn back down or consolidating slightly, still below that 50% retracement level. And then later during the stream, during the daily analysis, I will be do the scenarios, what to do during not the FOMC rates tomorrow morning or later tonight or tomorrow. Okay, so pound dollar now looking like it's pushing back down. The aggressive ones, those of you on an if could be thinking to get in, think about this, right? Could be thinking to get in about that point. It goes past that point at 1.24, 1.2348, the 1.2348. The slightly safer version would be get in if it closes below 1.238. So there's a 10 pip difference here, right? There's a 10 pip difference here. Question to you is whether you would be happy to take on that extra risk for pips. And in fact, right now, as I would say that again, it was a bit too premature. It looks like it's continuing to bounce back up. Just realized now, realized how laggy. That's how laggy. Here says I think pound dollar would retrace up. It does look like it. If it goes past that, then all bets are off. That was a new done. Time to reset and look at what's going to happen. Okay. Interestingly, is why it's pushing up is possibly because of the euro dollar pushing up. Euro dollar pushing up, the dollar weakness. So despite what's happening or what happened on the pound dollar, that has led to the pound, what happened on the pound CPI that has led to that retrace or that more significant than expected retrace on the pound dollar. Okay. So a short and sharp session here for you guys. Okay, it's not that laggy. Okay, so a short and sharp session here for you guys. Good job BL with that 20. Good job myself on that 20 as well. Anyone else who got in a trade, let me know. Is hesitating, it held 50% held right there. So we're gonna watch that. That's the first entry. That's the second entry. Looking for that support at 1.210. I like how it's reacting at 50% there. I still do think there's more downside on the pound dollar. The only thing that's holding it up, or one of the things that's holding it up, possibly euro dollar, surprising euro dollar strength. No big reason, even German PPI at 0.3, not be euro dollar up that much. So just looking for it to break past this point for that downside. Okay, so I'll leave that here with for you guys, and I'm going to take a quick reset of the setup. Then we'll catch back again in just under 45 minutes for the daily market analysis. Today with the focus on the FOMC news events and scenario planning for that. So I'll see you in less than 45. Here now.